Hello and welcome back. Now we want to do a setup of the API Gateway project. Okay, but something important I want to point out. In this section, we are not implementing the complete API Gateway. Okay, we are only going to do the initial setup. And then, once we get to other services that needs connection or that requires connection to the API Gateway, then when we finish that service or when we add the required route, we will then go and update the API Gateway. So in this section, we only just want to have the initial setup. We'll have the folder for the API Gateway. So for example, when we add a route, the sign up route in our auth service, we are also going to go to the API Gateway folder and then add the sign up route. Okay, so I decided not to have a complete section to implement everything related to the API Gateway. We are just going to do the implementation as we work on other services. Now, the notification service, it doesn't have any direct connection with the API Gateway because there is no HTTP request in our notification service. That was why we did not implement anything related to API Gateway in the service. But now, once we have this initial setup, and then once we go to other services like the auth service, whenever we add a controller, we add a route to our auth service, we will add the corresponding controller and route in the notification service. So that is how we are going to implement the API Gateway. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the folder. I'll give this one. You can call this gateway service, or whatever you want to call this, or API Gateway. Okay, so gateway service. And then here I'll open in the terminal. Okay, so as usual, I'll run npm npm init -y. Okay, and then tsc --init. Okay, the good thing is that most of the things we need, we already have them inside our notification service. Okay, so all you just need to do, we can just copy everything we have in our notification service, because we are still going to use the same docker ignore, editor config, ESLint ignore, ESLint JSON, git ignore, npm rc, prettier, docker files, jest, ts config. Okay, so we're going to use all of those. So what I will do, let me just copy all up to this point. Okay, there is no need, we already created them, so there is no need creating them from scratch again, because we are using, they are going to be the same. Okay, so this is the same editor config. We'll make changes to this env. Okay, so you know what, yeah, let me just comment this part out. We are going to make changes to this later, and then this will remain the same. This will remain the same. Yes, we are using the same npm rc, prettier, docker file. Now for the docker file, we can make changes to this. So the changes we want to make is the port number. We are going to use port 4000. Okay, so we use port 4000 for this, and then docker dev as well, we're going to use port 4000. Okay, so just make those changes, and there is nothing here that we need to change anymore. Okay, and then for the configuration, yes, we can make a change. The change we are going to make here is we change this to gateway. Okay, so from notifications to gateway, and every other thing will remain the same. Don't worry, we are going to install these types. Okay, and then copy the contents of your ts config. Okay, copy the content of your ts config. The reason I'm doing this is I don't want to write all of this again from scratch, because they're the same. Okay, so I know I will definitely get messages from users or developers telling me asking why didn't I type all of this from scratch. They are the same, so it doesn't make any sense. To save time, it doesn't make sense to type them out from scratch again. So just copy and make changes to the necessary parts that needs to be changed. Okay, so ts config, I'll copy this and paste here, and then the only change in this ts config file will be this part. I'll change this to gateway. Okay, so change this to gateway, and every other thing will remain the same. Close this, and now let's go to our package JSON file. let's try to see install libraries. Okay, at first we can also copy the script part. Okay, so we can copy these parts, the scripts, paste them here, and then I will change this to Jobber Gateway. Okay, and then this is going to be app.js. Okay, and now we need to install some libraries. Okay, let me type them. Okay, so here we have the dependencies that we need to install. So you can pause the video at this point and then install all of these dependencies that we have right here. Okay, so these are the dependencies. You just install with npm install and then the name. Okay, and then on the second tab, these are the dev dependencies we need to install. So you install with npm install -d and then the name of the dependency. Okay, so go ahead. The first one right here is the dependencies we are going to use, while the other one here on this tab are the dev dependencies. Okay, so here, pause the video, install all of this, and then the same, once you are done with this, you can go to this tab right here and then install them as dev dependencies. Okay, so I'll end this video here and then install them on my own. I don't have them installed yet, because if we decide to just install it, might take a longer time. Okay, I'll make the video much longer, so I will go ahead and install on my own.